Galatasaray 3, Manchester United 3. We are here to bring you the player ratings of this game of football that really happened down in the side of Turkey in there for you. And it's a good morning. It's already a Thursday in my country, and it looks like we might be going into the Thursday night football, by the way, because Manchester United are having 4 points. Galatasaray and Copenhagen are really having 5. So, unless otherwise United gets a win against Bayern Munich, that is when all this will be back as a dream. And if at all they draw down in Copenhagen on the 12th of December, that will be a game that will see teams like Man United go through if at all we beat Bayern Munich. And even if any of those really wins and United wins, then that means we'll be going to the UEFA Europa League. Thursday night football is what we're going to be playing, and it's really very, very absurd to say to it that that's where we're obviously going to be playing. And Bayern Munich today failed to beat Copenhagen. That is it. That's why I tell you that Man United might find it easy to beat Bayern Munich and destroy it at Old Trafford, because Bayern Munich is not a threatening side. That is it. All what they had to do is they never had a goalkeeper like Andrew Onana who would go ahead and really do mistakes that could cost their club. That is it. But if they had a goalkeeper like Andrew Onana, they would have been like Man United, because Galatasaray attacked them left, right, and center, and even Copenhagen today has gone ahead to obviously put in a shift, but they couldn't obviously find themselves onto the target. So let's go into this group and really see how we really go on. But let's go to the player ratings. Andrew Onana, to me, is getting a 2 out of 10. A 2 out of 10. This is the game where he had to make the penalty save against Copenhagen count. Now, amid him really saving that penalty of Copenhagen, keeping us into the game, it's really not making sense. And when you paint the entire image, it's all about bad luck. You go to Copenhagen, you lead 2-0, and then you get a red card. And when you get a red card, you get a red card in the 43rd minute. You play close to 50 minutes when you are a man down. So luck has not been the side of Man United, and then the undoing of Andy Onana has also gone ahead to cost the club of Manchester United very, very badly. So as it stands, we wait and see how that pans out, but I'm giving Andrew Onana a 2 out of 10. That is it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he closed down Wilfried Zaha very well, and he never gave him a chance to obviously come to the club of Manchester United, and he closed him. We can say that he went ahead to pocket him, and to me, he gets a 7 out of 10. He really put in a very good performance. And it's going to be very absurd to say to it that I'm really giving this player some good ratings, yet we've gone ahead to draw points. And it has been the orchestration of the goalkeeper. We go to the left back, Luke Shaw. He has gone ahead to show us how important he is as a left back of Man United, how he closes down that side. And he puts in a lot of effort, left, right, and center. That is Luke Shaw for you. He really orchestrated the forward play very well, and the defensive side very, very well. At least he put up a show. Second game in, he has gone ahead to play his first 90 minutes ever since return from injury, and that is exactly what the club of Man United is all about. And we wait and see how he's going to fare in the game of Newcastle. But he had only one slip up, when the player of Galatasaray went into the side net, It was one of those moments that we are really uncalled for. So that is Luke Shaw, and I give him a 7.5 out of 10. Central defense, Harry Maguire, I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. They are not so much. They never had a lot of work to do, by the way. They never had a lot of work to do, apart from that brilliant block that he put in through when a player of Copenhagen tried to shoot at the goalkeeper of Manchester United, and he really blocked it. So I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. And one will say, why are you giving Harry Maguire, central defender, 7 out of 10? Yet his central defense conceded 3. It conceded 3, but only 1. I think every goal is to blame for the goalkeeper, so they have no problem. Lindelof, a 7 out of 10 too. He really put up a very good performance. ice. It was an ice cold performance, and he was really press resistant as they build up that ball from the back line. I really loved everything he did, and he takes a 7 out of 10 for me. We go to Sofyan Amrabat. I get him a 7.5 out of 10. He showed us what we miss every time we don't play him. And guys, I just can't wait to see this guy. I'm talking about Sofyan Amrabat, played alongside Kobe Menu. I would love to see that midfield. Though Erik ten Hag is still rigid, to see to it that he plays Scott McTominay and Kobe Menu. And Kobe Menu came in through, but he was really looking good. That is it. He had that ball at his feet, passed it left, right, and center, and he did what he had to do. Now, if it was not Andre Onana, I would have been into the jubilation mode. So I'm giving Amrabat a 7.5. Scott McTominay, let me get him a 7.52. He scores a goal. He fights for every ball. Although he was a little bit selfish when Anthony Martial did a very good flick at him, and instead of releasing Alejandro Garnacho on the left, guess what he did? He went in for selfish effort that really went outside. So I'm giving him a 7.5 out of 10. Bruno Fernandes, a goal with an assist. No one can do what he did today. He also struck the post, in the second half. So he really looked bright. And one thing I'm gonna love him is his composure. He's so composed every time he gets the ball outside the seniors box area, and he's obviously getting better and better and better as a player. And I just love everything he does in here at the club of Man United nowadays. Back in the days, Hollywood passes, he was not calm, but now he's the opposite of what he was last time, and that's why you see to it that he goes ahead to obviously do the needful. An assist for the Alejandro Garnacho goal in the 11th minute, and then in the 18th minute went in for a shot, and it went into the bottom corner, and he kept it below the crossbar, and it went in. That is Bruno Fernandes Borges for you, and what he put up on the field of play on the night. Now, I'm giving him an 8.5 out of 10 for me. He captained the side very well, though he went ahead to call in for a very stupid free kick, very ugly, and it was really one of those that he will never forgive him for, though Andre Onana was the man who really led us to really even talk about that, So after that, we go to Garnacho. I give him an 8. Consistency is what makes you a world-class player. Being compared to Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney, he has huge potential, and he needs to be consistent, and he needs to work hard. Those are the words that Erik ten Hag told Alejandro Garnacho when he was being compared to Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney after the game of Everton, where he went ahead to excel brilliantly. And even today, he went ahead to score the opener, and Alejandro Garnacho is on fire. So I'm getting him an 8 out of 10. He had other chances to obviously kill off the game, but I think he was really very selfish. That is it. But he needs to obviously compose himself and really get to know that selfishness sometimes doesn't really win games. And one of the things that we're not going to obviously discuss about in the match reaction, because we had a lot to talk about, is the selfishness of the players of Manchester United. The players have been selfish. That is it. They've been so selfish, and in the so doing, they went ahead to miss out on chances. Facundo Pellistri twice in the 10 years box area, Scott McTominay once, Garnacho like thrice, and the most selfish player that I thought was on the field of play turned to be the unselfish player in the field of play. That is none other than Anthony. You get? Anthony is really unselfish, and let me confirm to you, this guy is for World Cup, and he really went ahead to put in a performance today. If at all this is the spark that he needed to obviously perform and really reflect the amount of money you bought him for, that is really great. Garnacho, 8 out of 10. Then Anthony, guys, is the best game Anthony has gone ahead to play for Man United. That is it. Today, Anthony was all over the place. He sat down Angelino. He couldn't lose the ball. He could track back. He could fight. And in the entire game, I never saw him shoot at goal. That is it. It shows you how good he's becoming, and he's getting into the player that is supposed to be as a player that we bought at Ajax. And he gets a 7.5 out of 10. For that third goal, it's all his energy. It's all his energy. He plays out on Bissaka in, and Bissaka does a cutback to Scott McTominay, and Scott McTominay hits that ball into the back of the net to make it 3-1 for the club of Man United. Anthony, 8.8 out of 10, guys. I'm giving him an 8. He really looked good. He looked good. Then we go to Rasmus Højlund, 7 out of 10. Coming in from injury and trying to force yourself through to where you are and try to battle it out on the night was really great. He got the first chance, but it was really deflected off the target by the defender. And for the first goal, I like the way he composes himself, passes into Bruno Fernandes, then Bruno releases Garnacho to go into the narrower angle of the near post, and it was 1-0 for the club of Man United. 7 out of 10 for me for that lad. Now, I think I've talked about everyone, right? I've talked about Amrabat, I've talked about Scott McTominay and the front three. Now, let's go to the substitutes. Kobbie Mainoo, he gets a 7 out of 10. He had what he had to do. Nothing is for him to blame for us drawing, because he put in the required shift as a player. Then Pelestri, 6.5 out of 10. He had a lot to do and he couldn't obviously kill off the game. Anton Martial, 7 out of 10. He really had some good efforts in there for you, and he also had a chance to score. He couldn't score. In the last minutes of the game, we had close to 5 chances, but we couldn't score, But for me, I'm really getting the positives out of this, that if at all we can really get that form and that site of attack to the Premier League against Newcastle, trust me, we can beat Newcastle hands down on Saturday. That is it. Anton Martial, 7 out of 10. Dalot, 7 out of 10. Then who else came on? I think those are the substitutes that were made. Pelestri, Dalot, Anton Martial, and Kobbie Mainoo. That is it. So, Erik ten Hag, I'm giving him a 7 out of 10 as a player rating. And who takes away the man of the match? To me, it's Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes was all over the place. And trust me, you cannot dethrone him off this accolade of being the man of the match. I know most of you are really having your different opinions on who was your man of the match. So feel free to go into the comment section and tell me who your man of the match was. But I'm going to let you know who mine was. And I'm waiting yours into the comment section and how you rate every player. So it shows you that if the goalkeeper has gotten 2 out of 10, then he was the reason as to why he went ahead to draw this game. This game would have ended all in favor of one team, that is Manchester United. But Andre Onana obviously did us the worst. So I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims Barakallahu fikum. And let me see you tomorrow morning. Good night. The Muslims Barakallahu fikum.